You are listening to the 12 Days of Crusademas 2024, brought to you by the Longbox Crusade. 10 Richard's Dragoning. Hello and welcome to the 10th day of the 12 Days of Crusademas 2024, brought to you by the Longbox Crusade. The 12 Days of Crusademas is our gift to the podcast community to celebrate the holiday season. We're celebrating this joyous season by sharing with you some comic book titles that might have gotten by you in the past. Each day of the 12 Days of Crusademas, we'll bring you a hidden gem of a comic book series brought to you either by one of our holly jolly co-hosts, or, you know what? It's just co-hosts at this point. Everybody else is gone. We're going to count it down to Christmas Day, which, let's see if today's 10th day. It's 2 days away? 2 days away? Something like that. I don't do the math. I do the math on Action Film Face-Off. I don't do it here. I'm your host for this 10th day of Crusademas, Jared Ulrich, the yard sale artist, a.k.a. the Christmas Probe. And before I introduce the 3 sugar plum fairies that I have with me for this episode's unwrapping, I have a Christmas joke for everybody. Here we go. After the wise men gave their gifts of gold and frankincense, Mary and Joseph started to thank them. But then the third wise man spoke up saying, "But wait, there's myrrh." Anyway, let's introduce everybody.
My cat died.
You said you're going to say dragon. Jason's true admittance that his cat died got a better laugh. But wait,
I thought I'd throw it out there. I had a feeling. Life gives you lemons.
That's right? Hang on. Let me tabulate. Looking at the humor notes here. Yeah,
the timing was incredible.
The all-time low for these Christmas jokes is happening. All right, let's go around the horn. You know what? Let's go clockwise. Let's start with my brother Jason, who at the time of recording, unfortunately, his cat passed away. But we love Jason, and he's decided to soldier through. Talk about Richard Dragon with you. Welcome back to day 10 of Crusademas, 2 days away from the big day. Jason, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jared. Yeah, tough day here for the old weasel skull. I'm going to really need the crew to help pull me through this and give me some laughs. And, you know, hopefully the listeners will get some laughs. And I'm just going to put it out here, folks. I've got permission. Every time Jared mentions or anybody mentions Richard Dragon, I'm going to just interject with Dick Dragon. And that's my therapy for tonight. So I apologize to everybody in advance, but we'll get through it together. Love y'all.
Was it Richard Dragon?
Dick Dragon.
Good test run, Pat.
Thank you.
While you're on the mic, welcome back to day 10, Pat. Merry Crusademas to you, sir.
Merry Crusademas to you as well, and to everybody else. We're 2 days away from Christmas proper, the big day. We're 2 days away. So I just want to make sure we got everything put together now. I need some more help with the lights. I got a band of 10 guys coming to help with the lights because I don't see any action being done. Nobody else is helping with the lights. So I got 10 lords. They're going to come and leaving, and they're going to put up these lights.
That out.
Yeah, you know, they're going to come and they're going to do it. I paid the contract. I called a guy. This guy's name was Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
And so it's Dick Dragon's Christmas leaping, putting lights up Festivus.
Man, and they're operating 2 days before the big day.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's got a band of 10 guys that can do it for him. Yeah.
If only you had a band of guys that could help you, Pat. But
I know. And I said, you know what? I'll leave the inside work to be done. We'll get some lights and we'll get all that set up. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it up to Mary Jane now. She's in control. Let her take care of everything.
I know the basement is decorated because I took, you know, that box of the big box of decorations that we got from the Goodwill.
Yeah.
I opened up the hatch and Clinton tried to scramble up the ladder, but I just started pouring the big box of decorations down, then I slammed the hatch. So
okay,
I think it's decorated.
Yeah. I'm sure he's sorting that out then.
What else does he have to do? Delvin, the Christmas web. Welcome.
Thank you. I like to feel welcome. I appreciate being welcome. And yeah, no bit really or anything like that. Other than to say that I'm definitely sorry about Jason's cat and everything, but I'm really not up for gratuitous bits. So, I mean, the last thing you're going to hear me say today is Richard Dragon. I'm not doing it.
Dick Dragon.
We're all helping Jason the best way we can.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. Well, those are the 3 Sugar Plum Fairies joining me for the 10 out of 12 day. Man, only 2 days left. I think it's just Delvin, and then Pat brings it home every year.
Yeah.
Good times. No guests tonight, just the 4 of us. We got our hot cocoa. I built a gingerbread man house. It's out there. You can smell it. It's out there in the kitchen, cooling down. Anybody that wants to get some of that gingerbread house?
Yeah, I love me some gingerbread.
That's for everybody. So let's get into it. Let's get this here gift wrapped stocking opened up. Because as you heard in the singing intro, it's 10 Richard's Dragoning.
Dick Dragon.
I didn't say Richard Dragon.
Dick
There
Dragon.
it is. Sorry. Say it again. It took you 18 seconds. Damn it, Jason.
I couldn't repeat that.
Anyway, we're unwrapping Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
number 2 from DC Comics in 2004. For a brief history on this series and the creators, I will follow the script and do this in less than 60 seconds. Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
was created in 1974 by Denny O'Neil and James Barry. And then in 2004, 30 years later, Chuck Dixon, Scott McDaniel, and Andy Owens dusted the property off and brought it back. Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel are ideal for this because at the time they were flying high with a very popular series of Nightwing, and they said, hey, let's take this cool kung fu character and stick him in Bloodhaven so that we can sort of build a universe here. Crafty stuff. Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
would end up going 12 issues, 1 full year. And a fun fact about it is that in that 12 issues, they did a little hinting that Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
did some of the martial arts training for Bruce Wayne and also Dick Grayson. Some of the main reasons I love this book are the fact that it is a revival of the 1970s Kung Fu craze, where you get Shang-Chi and, of course, Power Man and Iron Fist kind of got popular at this time with the whole martial arts boom. And DC got in on it with this book.
See what you did there.
Another reason I love it is it's Dixon paired up with McDaniel. That's a 1-2 punch. It's hard to beat. And as I mentioned earlier, they really use it as an expansion of the Bat universe with connections to not only Batman, but Lady Shiva is going to play a big role in this 12-issue series as well. Now, let's go around the room and find out if any of you have read any issues of Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
before. We start with Pat.
No, I have not read any issues of Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
Tell them.
I have 11 out of 12 issues of Richard Dragon,
Dick Dragon.
but not the one that you brought here today. So that was a particularly fun little thing that happened today. But yes, in short, I have read issues of Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
He's not joking either, folks. When he texted me the other day, he was like, which one are we reading? I was like, the issue 2. And he's like, I have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is the only one he didn't have. But we solved it. Jason, have you read any Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
before this?
No, man. I have not read any issues of Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon. Am I supposed to?
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Keep it going.
All right. Okay, good. Well, let me give you a quick summary of issue number 2. Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon.
is in Bloodhaven, tracking down a very dangerous martial arts group called the Circle of Six. As the name would indicate, even with Dragon's amazing martial arts prowess, 6-on-1 is tough odds. Luckily, Richard isn't alone. He has help from his old friend and mentor, Ben Turner, aka Bronze Tiger. Ben and Richard are lucky and they find 3 of the 6 villains at a restaurant in Chinatown. Pretty good odds, until the other 3 members of the Circle show up. Luckily, Nightwing has also been keeping an eye on the 6 and helps even those odds in a huge fight. But just as our heroes might catch a break during the battle, in which everyone was indeed kung fu fighting, a local gangster named Sky tells his followers to attack the restaurant and kill everyone. So, what did you guys think about issue number 2 of this revamp of a 1970s martial arts series called Richard Dragon?
Dick Dragon.
Let's start with Delvin this time.
Hey, you want to hear a $1 billion idea? $1 billion. Like,
yes.
it was a...
Yes,
was a
I want it. I want to hear it. Yeah.
Freaking Richard Dragon and Quentin Tarantino.
Dick Dragon.
Yeah. That's absolutely. Like, I immediately thought of how he did the 70s thing with Kill Bill.
Has he not heard of Richard Dragon before? And
Dick Dragon.
it's your bit. Has he not heard of him before? Like, because I'm reading the comic book, and the whole time between, like, whatever, McDaniel has kind of changed his styles a little bit over the years. And, like, for whatever reason, between this and I can't remember who the inker was, but, like,
Andy Owens, like, it just felt a little bit like just, I don't know. It felt like I needed to hear, like, some, it feels very energetic and busy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like you could pour over one panel and just keep seeing more and more stuff happening.
Yeah, there was this 70s type funk feel going on to it, and I'm just like, and then like I was, Nightwing was on the cover, obviously, because Nightwing was super popular then. He's popular now, but he was super popular then, like to bring people to the book, hopefully. And he showed up more towards the end that like showed like the big fight. I mean, there's already a fight to happen, and a bigger fight was about to happen. You're just like, oh my God, are they gonna stop fighting? I just don't know. And it's just like the art. So artwork was great. The story building was great, especially when a young Richard Dragon,
Dick Dragon,
was like had to prove himself, or he wasn't. The Bronze Tiger wasn't even necessarily making him test. He was just like, nah, I don't really train anyone. And Richard wouldn't go away. And I love that. I love that. He just sat out in the cold. It was like, I want to learn from you, and I will not leave until you teach me. Sort of reminds me back in college, when like Jared would just get beat up all the time or whatever. And then he'd come to me, he's like, please, Delvin, could you help me learn how to fight? And I'm like, I'll save you. Pew, 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 pew. You know what? Never mind. Just pass it to someone else.
Yeah, I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, but I will tag on to say that another great 70s Kung Fu creation was Bronze Tiger. And it was really cool that they kept him in this storyline because he's such a cool character. And I look forward to Delvin's Bronze Tiger t-shirt, which I can only assume is on order at this time.
One exists. I'll sure wear it. That's for sure.
We know where the fun
matter of fact, let me go on mute real quick.
While he's on mute researching Bronze Tiger t-shirts, hey, get two, my friend. Get two. Much like Gary Busey and Point Break.
Yeah.
Give it two. Get two. Let's go to Pat and find out what he thinks of Richard Dragonovich, which is his actual name.
I was wondering if somebody was going to get clever on this.
Dragonovich.
Pat, this is your first foray into the world of, let's let Jason have another one, Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
What'd you think?
Yeah, this was an interesting book. I have never heard of this particular character. I go just by Rich Dragon.
Rich Dragon.
But I thought he was pretty cool guy, and I didn't know much or of anything about him. So to see him kind of put into the Nightwing, Bloodhaven arena or just world here was really interesting, because with this time, Chuck Dixon is just running the Bat universe. And so, man, for him to just continue to bring in some decent characters and make you feel, for this kid, make you feel for Rich. I just feel so much for him that, as Delvin mentioned, his persistence in trying to get the Bronze Tiger to teach him after the Bronze Tiger goes in and just whoops that guy's butt.
I ain't your man.
How bad do you have to not like somebody that you just come up into their house and beat their ass? Like, God. Oh.
Bronze Tiger's always been cool. He's one of those under the radar DC guys. I love it when he pops up.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, oh man, this guy just walks in and boom, gives the smackdown on the guy.
I guess that was a flashback too, because I guess he wasn't even really the Bronze Tiger then. He was just Ben Taylor, speeder.
Yeah. The history that they go through on how Richard
Dick Dragon
learned all his moves and who he learned them from, and then to see that he's teaching these bad guys, and now these bad guys have kind of turned. Obviously, they're probably in it for the money or whatever they're doing. So it was really interesting. And I felt like the artwork in this, I thought this was probably like mid-90s, towards the end of the 90s. And when you said 2004, I was like, oh, because it kind of had that, to me, it had that 90s vibe, was everybody was just kind of super buff like that. And the artwork in it really gave me a late 90s vibe.
Yeah, it's Scott McDaniel, and he was the regular penciler for a long time on Nightwing. I think he cut his teeth before that on Daredevil. Super nice guy. I've dealt with him before. I got an original James Bond piece from him.
Cool.
Super pleasant guy.
I just think with this and having read the other Nightwing that was brought this year, so really opens up this world that Nightwing had. So I'm really, really interested in Nightwing a lot more.
That's a good interest to have, Pat, because I can tell you, I had the first 12 Nightwings hardbound due to fanciness. First 25. And then I'm about to send these 12 Richard Dragon
Dick Dragon
books off to be hardbound as well, which kind of adds to Jason's joke a little bit. Anyway, enough about my fanciness. Let's talk about my hardbound book collection. I'm just kidding. Let's pass it over to Jason. You also, everyone was a first dabble, I think, into this world. So,
yeah, interesting anecdote. I collected those hero clicks when they were big, and I have a bronze tiger. I didn't know his backstory. I was like, is he a good guy, a bad guy? I had no idea. So I really kind of connected with his book. It was interesting seeing him in the comic book world. Yeah, I think all the fellas really spoke to it. The 70s martial arts vibe. I liked the dialogue an awful lot. I liked the dialogue with the police officers as they're investigating this crime scene that I'm assuming got left over from issue 1, and just the way that their banter back and forth is really cool. I like the dialogue between Bronze Tiger and Richard Dragon. I thought that it sounded natural, and you really got the chemistry of these two folks. And that's just me picking it up, going in blind, knowing nothing. So I liked the chemistry. The action was great. I liked how you had elements of the backstory interspersed with the action. Nightwing is the cherry on top. Honestly, I could have done even without him. I just was really interested in the backstory, the history between the villains and Richard Dragon and Bronze Tiger. And it really left us at a good cliffhanger, too. I hope the insurance is paid up on this restaurant because they're about to go out of business.
It went from 2-on-3 to 2-on-6 to 3-on-6 to now a whole gang of people is coming to shoot the place up.
It was a crazy fight. Yeah. So, in the end, going into this totally cold, knowing nothing about it, I'm about ready to go out and get a run of this. I mean, Chuck Dixon at this time is just spectacular. He's just hitting them out of the park. And Scott McDaniel, I mean, that's the jelly to his peanut butter. It's just a really good combo, and it continues in this series.
And good news, it's affordable. I pulled a bunch of these out of a dollar bin. It's a 12-issue run. Again, Crusademas all about overlooked gems, and I really feel like this is the one. And I did pick number 2 because of I think Gene brought Nightwing.
He did, yep.
And that kind of got me thinking, oh, Richard Dragon was cool. Maybe I'll bring that to Crusademas. I thought, well, this connects nicely. So that's why I picked issue 2. That, and I really like the flashback story from Richard and Bronze Tiger.
As we talk more about Bronze Tiger, he's in the Suicide Squad. He was brought in by Amanda Waller. In the
I thought, I was thinking about that. Like, where did I see him before?
Yeah. So,
in Pat, in the movie or in the comic? In the movie?
In the comic book, when DC did their after they redid themselves
Post-crisis.
Yeah,
you're right.
Bronze Tiger came in later on in the Suicide Squad. He was brought in as a good guy to kind of help balance out the team.
Underused character. Jason's got a hero's clicks of him. It's right next to Bilbo Bag.
That's the team up you didn't know you wanted.
Bring it back old bits. All right, guys. It is now time for us to rate our interest in, let's do it one more time. Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
The series, using the official Crusademas candy cane scale on a scale of 1 to 12 candy canes, 12 being extremely interested and 1 being no interest at all. How many candy canes would you rate your interest in pursuing more issues of this title? We'll go backwards. We'll start with Jason.
Humor, giving it a full 3. It's not laugh out loud funny, but the comments by the police officer, does this look like a whatever the guy's name is to you as he was the corpse's head, was funny. I like the banter with Bronze Tiger and Richard Dragon to the villains.
Dick Dragon.
Thank you. And yeah, so I'm going to give humor a 3, heart a 3. I can tell right away that I'm going to enjoy this story and the motivations of the characters that drive it. Spectacle, giving that a full 3. Holy cow, that is a fight. And it's enough said. And then art, Scott McDaniel, come on, 3. So I don't even have to give you a bonus 1 for your enthusiasm, Jared. I'm giving you the full 12 right out of the gate.
Woo! Dick Dragon!
You'll be dragging these candy canes.
Yeah, you said something that really sparked me there for a second, Jason. It just feels like Chuck Dixon was sitting around the DC offices going, come on, give me it. I want this title. I can make this work. I know I can. Like, it has that feel to it. I think he was a champion of dusting this off and bringing it back.
You could tell that it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
It's one of those you can tell right off.
All right, Pat. Candy cane time, sir. I got Jason's 12 here. You want to just hand me the box? You don't have to take the cellophane off if you don't want to. Give me the box.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was kind of a faster read than what I was expecting it to be, which was nice. And I think the artwork carried it along. Action. Wow, the action in this was really cool. Done really well. I'm going to give it 11 candy canes. And I think if I can find more of it anywhere, I would pick it up just to, again, delve into that world of the Nightwing, the Bloodhaven area that Chuck Dixon is, putting out here. Very interesting to me now with the 2 books that we have read.
So you opened the cellophane and you took out a candy cane for yourself, and then you handed me the box.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. That's what I am. That's what I am. Yep.
Okay, I understand. Delvin, you cracking the cellophane?
Got a question for you. Here's your opportunity to bribe me, Jared. Are you going to mail me Richard Dragon 2 to complete my collection?
Dragon.
Yes.
In that case, I'll let you know. I mean, I've already texted you. I ordered 2 Bronze Tiger t-shirts.
What?
Oh, cool.
One of which I'm going to mail to you. And so when you give me that issue of Richard Dragon, I will give you a 12 candy cane for Richard Dragon, because in all seriousness, I read it and was like, well, dang, I'm sure that I picked it up probably because of Chuck Dixon and McDaniel. And man, at that time, Dixon was at the height of his powers, or was just coming off the height of his powers, as far as he knows how to world build. And he built a great world with the Batman universe when he had it, and then just went along with, so he was trying to add a little bit to the lore of Bloodhaven by bringing in Richard. And so it was well done. And after reading an issue 2 of all things, I was like, man, maybe I need to go back and read this, because I'm pretty sure I remember how 12 ends. And it's not a spoiler, and that is 20 years old. He fights Lady Shiva, and I'm pretty sure he puts a whooping on Lady Shiva. But that build up to that was spectacular. And as everyone knows who has read any DC for any long period of time, Lady Shiva is basically the martial arts fighter in DC. No one can touch her, essentially, save like Batman. So like Chuck did a good job of building up Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
And so now it makes me wonder what the heck happened to him in like current DC universe, and why wouldn't they bring back a cool character like that? Because it seems like it's just some easy raw material. Anyway, I will give it a 12, and it's worth giving a 12 too, because I already had it, so I can't sit there and say, oh, I might go pick this up if I see this in the dark. I have it already. It's sitting there in my bin, so I already know that was a great book. So take your 12 candy canes and be gone, sir. Be gone.
12 candy canes and a t-shirt. This is a new record for Longbox Crusademas, and I appreciate that. I'm going to need it in a 3X just because of these big pecs of mine. Anyway. Anyways.
I hope an XL works. Like, I've got an XL for me, so I'm thinking XL was going to work for you.
We'll talk offline.
All right. We'll see. If not, give it to Jordan.
All right, folks, it's time to give one last recommendation for the series. I'm just going to kind of echo what the guys have already said, but I wrote this in the notes, and this is what I wrote. It's Dixon and McDaniel expanding the Bat universe and revving the 70s kung fu craze back up. And the relationship between Dragon and Bronze Tiger is definitely DC's version of Power Man and Iron Fist, and it has that same level of charm. All right, that's going to wrap up day 10 of the 12 Days of Crusademas. We'd love to hear from you if you're familiar with any of the comics we cover here on the show, or if you give one of our recommendations a try, let us know what you think about it. If you go out and pick up some, let's get Jason one more time, pick up some Richard Dragon.
Dick Dragon.
We want to know about it. We want to know what you think about it. You can hit us up at the usual places, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all at Longbox Crusade. You can email your thoughts, contact@longboxcrusade.com. And of course, our very favorite is if you leave us a voicemail, because then we can just drop it right in the show. 707-532-5269. 707-532-LBOX.
Dick Dragon.
All right, folks, if you're loving Crusademas and didn't get a chance to listen last year, you just want to hear more Crusademas, this whole thing started in 2017, and I apologize for our microphone quality, but if you want to, head on over to longboxcrusade.com, and then you can click on December of 2017, and they'll all be there. And then you can do that for 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you're listening to 24. And guess what, folks? I already have the schedule built out for recording for 25, so that's coming your way next year. Thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to come back tomorrow to find out what the next gift is from under the tree here in the festively decorated Longbox Crusade Studios. It's got Delvin's name on it, so we will see what it's going to be. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys have very happy holidays. And like I said, we'll be here in our comfy PJs waiting to talk to you guys again tomorrow. Until then, DJ Cristados, play me a copyright-free Christmas jam.
Wickedy, 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 whack.